Could you eat a meal this big every day for a year and lose weight? If you follow me, you already know the answer. This is the ridiculously big Big Mac salad. Here we go. I'm gonna whip this up for you today. I'm gonna talk about why it has driven massive success in the community, why it was key to me in those dark days, way up on the scale, how I leveraged this to get to my goal weight and get out and live the life I wanted to live. We honored this recently in the community on Intergalactic Big Mac Salad Day, which community member Autumn renamed Intergalactic Mac Daddy Salad Day. Check out the community reactions and a message from me as I take this and eat it in a very special place with a special message for you. And for your convenience, the recipe, it's in the description, it's on the site. I mean, it's all over the place. You came for the recipe, but stay for some stories because we got some bangers. Here we go. Layer one of the ridiculously big salad is the greens. We're just gonna tear it up. Okay, this was a very healthy head of iceberg lettuce. I have a real super legitimate bowl. I am very excited about this because I feel like this is one of these days I really need a giant bowl. You'll see that at the end. But a bit about this first layer. This layer, this is the key to filling you up. It's gonna take a long time to digest. If you're just finding me, you're gonna be a little bit shocked that I actually eat all of my nutrition for the day in one meal. At least that's what I did to lose the 140 pounds. It sounds kind of freaky, but just hang in with me. Really check out why it's working, why I find it to be easier, and you're gonna hear a lot more about that at the end of the video. So hang in. If it sounds freaky, just hang in there with me, okay? This is the key to surviving the one meal a day, in my opinion. This sticks with you for hours. Absolutely 4 hours. Yeah, you're gonna get peckish at the end of the day. I mean, on some days you might feel downright babyish peckish, okay? We need a word for that. Okay, whatever that is. It was 5 years ago that I was 10 pounds down from my high weight. My high weight was 280. About 5 years ago, I was 270. And I was out beginning to camp all over the entire world with my kids, just about. Here's a photo. I was preparing to launch a sort of big old diet. I was getting approved for bariatric surgery, and what I would come to learn in the coming weeks is that I would not have it until January. That gave me some months when I decided, darn it, I am not gonna regret that bariatric surgery. I'm absolutely gonna have it because it was the only tool I imagined for weight loss that I hadn't used. Okay, now I never had it, but I thought I was gonna. And what I did is I began a process of proving to myself that I had done everything I knew to do to lose weight before January. All right, I was gonna go on a big family vacation in August. We went to Wyoming to view the total solar eclipse, went through Yellowstone National Park. Perhaps you have seen those photos. They've now been seen by millions of people because we recreated them 1 year later. But what I did about a week after this before photo is I launched this. This was part of no particular plan, but I knew I wanted to try the one meal a day because it's getting all of that talk out there like, oh, it's all effective or whatever. And I thought, God, that's gotta be stupid. But it was one big thing I hadn't tried. And there I was proving to myself that I'd done everything I could do to lose weight. And one thing I knew is I'd be hungry. I'd be so hungry on just one meal a day. So how could I have a giant meal? I mean, I wanted it to be big, 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 big. Because if I'm only gonna eat once, I'm eating big, but I also knew I could eat a giant mountain of calories in an hour. Just let me show you. I mean, it wouldn't even be hard, but what if I put this strategic ingredient in? That is the first layer of the salad. I knew lettuce had like almost no calories and it was filling, and so I filled my bowl with it and frankly was shocked at how well it worked. Do not overlook the strategic importance of layer one of the Big Mac salad. Okay, let's get on with it. Let's get another layer on this, the dressing. You know, I'd done like the non-fat diet in the 90s and God, was that horrible. And I knew if I was going to just eat once a day, I needed to enjoy my meal, and I knew that meal needed some fat. Okay, Lord knows I had plenty of fat in other places, and that would help nourish me too. But boy, that meal needed to taste decent. Okay, that's where the dressing comes in. Find a yogurt that's kind of lower in carbs. I'm using this one today. And mayonnaise. So there's about a 1/4 cup of each of these right here. I'm in between mayonnaises. My main mayonnaise isn't being sold anymore. Lots of people use Duke's. I don't know. I don't know. Gosh, I hope I don't have to start making my own all the time. I like to have some in the pantry, you know, when you're not making your own. Making your own mayonnaise is easy, but it's also one more thing on the bad days. I try to keep it really, really simple. So this is the base. We're gonna just add pickles and onions, dill juice, some seasonings. That's all. All my salads have some kind of fresh onion on them. Today, all I've got is a yellow onion. Big Mac salads, I'm usually looking for a white onion. A lot of salads, I'm looking for a red onion. The white onion is the classic onion of the cheeseburger. It is a little more spicy, especially raw, than the other onions. I love that bit of flavor on my salads, but you know, this is what I got. It's what I got, and it will be delicious. So how to slice them for the salad? I'm gonna say it depends. How small do you want them in there? Do you want some chunky onions in there? My dad would totally want chunks. I like them a little bit smaller, so do it to suit yourself. I'm putting about 1/4 in the dressing, and I'll save the other 1/4 for the salad. So we're gonna just do something like this and this. It hardly matters because it's all going in the same place. Coming along. And some pickles in that. You could totally have relish. That would be a lot easier. The flavor is a little more dense with the relish. It's a good option. And so we got some pickle in it too, along with that onion. Okay, but it needs some more flavor. It needs to be diluted a bit, because now it's like this. Okay. The obvious choice for diluting it is right here in this jar. Boy, adding some extra dill flavor right there. Sometimes I add vinegar to this as well. It doesn't really need it because of the flavor, because of that dill pickle juice, but vinegar really helps bring your meal to an end. It helps you feel satiated, satisfied with the meal. I'm gonna add it for really strategic reasons today, which you will see as I eat this at the end. I'm gonna tell you all about it. But for now, a little bit of vinegar, probably about a tablespoon. It needs a sweetener. I use stevia, also called stevia. Boy, I've used this since about, 2000, 2002 or something. We always called it stevia back then, and now it's like the thing to call it stevia based on its like Latin and Spanish derivations. And so I call it stevia. This is from Trader Joe's. I use stevia. There's a lot of sort of mixed research on all the different sweeteners. I find stevia works for me. You do need to be careful about the artificials out there. We see a lot of bad reports in the community. I don't know. That's a whole other video, but stevia is what I'm using today. Salt and pepper, of course. Do not judge that I don't measure. You can find the recipe. Don't make me measure in the YouTube videos. I might never make the videos. Lordy mercy, grandma never measured. That's garlic powder. 2 more things for flavor. Deli mustard. Of course, a burger's special sauce would have deli mustard in it. Come on. And a lot of people think the special sauce is like a Thousand Island dressing and that it has ketchup in it and that's what makes it pink. That's not where the pink comes from. It comes from this. This is paprika. It adds a bit of little zip to it and pink at the same time. Sometimes I over zip it. I don't know, I never find myself disappointed, but you can definitely put too much paprika in it. Absolutely, you can definitely. Okay, so check the recipe. The recipe I think is like a 1/4 teaspoon. Boy, and that's it. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, I am so ready to eat this. This has some fat in it. That mayonnaise is a full fat mayonnaise, which accounts for most of the 500 calories in this container right here. Okay, I actually strategically use the yogurt just to reduce the calorie amount a little bit. Sour cream is an option. Vegetarian variations would be a coconut yogurt, a cashew yogurt, or if you're really vegetarian, you're probably having fewer calories, and so you could just go big on the mayonnaise. That's always an option. There's certainly vegan mayonnaises out there. And so if this quantity is too much for you, have less. Just have less. You don't have to eat this. You can imagine me back in the fall of 2017. I'm just trying to get to tomorrow, and I want my salad to be really good. And so it's going to be somewhat smothered in the dressing. That's just me being me. Now, if I were really being me, it would be all mayonnaise in here, but then that me wouldn't have gotten down to 140 pounds. Okay, so you gotta find the little compromises in yourself. But I do admit that I put a lot of dressing on my ridiculously big salad. And it is to help me feel satisfied and bring that meal to an end. So we're really getting to the fun part. We got our lettuce. we've got our dressing. Just gonna mix this up a little bit. I often taste at this stage, and it pretty much always needs more salt, but that's because pretty much everything I eat needs more salt. If you're restricted on the salt due to health reasons, don't add more salt. As you lose weight, things like your blood pressure will go down. Weight loss is often a complete cure to the high blood pressure, which is then a complete cure to the low sodium diet. But you gotta bridge the gap from here to there. And you guys, don't play around with the high blood pressure. Don't do that. Lordy mercy. I mean, build the bridge to your new life. Stay healthy in the process. Okay, so we've got 2 full layers. We've got the lettuce, we've got the dressing. The lettuce, calorie-minded, bulky, helps fill you up. The dressing, for fat and for flavor, but also calorie-minded. Again, I did not put a bunch of mayonnaise in it like my heart would want to do. And we're gonna add the protein. Conveniently warmed up for us. Let me give you a closer look. It's sort of hard to tell this, but trust me when I say there's not actually a lot of fat in this particular skillet. Some beef cuts, and certainly ground beef, could have a lot of fat in it. I tend to keep the fat in the dressing and not load up on the fat when I add the protein on top. Again, this just keeps it a little more calorie-minded. Lettuce, dressing, the protein on top. The 4th layer is the other stuff. This one already has some onions, so that's part of our 4th layer. A good cheeseburger needs cheese. And so that is part of the 4th layer. But as I talk about in the book, this 4th layer, it'll get you into trouble. Because if you're like me, you're gonna wanna put a lot of cheese on it, a lot of avocado, again, all the extra mayonnaise. That all adds up. So you gotta account for sort of all of it. Find your balance between your pleasure and your goals. That's what I did with this salad for myself back in the fall of 2017. Oh, this needs more pickles. Let's add those. And that's it. There is so much love out there for this salad. Let's review a little bit of it. Now, I fully intend to put more of this on the website as it rolls in, as I find it, because we have love for this salad all over the internet. Here are some highlights from our recent Big Mac Salad Day. Okay, this is a legendary comment from Autumn, posted at the Den. Happy Intergalactic McDaddy Salad Day. Wanted to share my salad and join in on the fun. Also, I think you need to add a warning label to your books, videos, etc. I have a serious problem and I don't know who to speak to exactly. You see, I've been eating 1 meal a day since Christmas and now my clothes don't fit. Not even my PJs. You guys, PJs never fit. Oh my God, I know, Autumn. I mean, remember, especially the ones that weren't super stretchy, just like regular cotton. Oh my God. But more from Autumn. But not even with shoestring and suspenders will my pants stay up. And have you ever tried sleeping in suspenders? I can't quite wrap my head around what size to buy anymore. And if the clothes are a bit tight, I should buy them anyway because in a month they will fit just right. And a month after, you'll be donating them. It's seriously challenging. All kidding aside, I'm almost down 60 pounds and doing awesome things every day, just enjoying the freedom to move freely. Thank you all for sharing your stories of challenges and successes. They are an inspiration and help the rest of us along the way. Keep on grinding, bears. Whew, keep on grinding. Okay, I love it because we have a new convert because of our Big Mac Salad Day, and that's Donna. Let's see what she said. At the Den, it was my first time having the Big Mac salad yesterday. It was amazing. Definitely a keeper. Love the pickles, but never on my burgers, always on the side. Something in me said, just try it. Oh my, the pickle and the onion with a secret sauce. That combination is so delicious in this salad. I had my second one today on the fly. A road trip with 7 of my children and 3 grandbabies. We have a minibus. Anyhow, some youngins had Little Caesars, some had McDonald's, and Mama enjoyed her better than a Big Mac. Big Mac salad right outside Mickey D's. Very nice. And Donna posts a selfie, her salad and McDonald's in the background. No, I wasn't deprived. No, I didn't miss out. My mouth was in savor the flavor heaven. Boy, Donna just started at the beginning of April and is already down 25 pounds. It's just like 6 weeks. She says, I'll stick with the salad, thank you. Congratulations, Donna. Donna says she had to use a bag of salad on the road. She wasn't able to find like a legitimate head of iceberg. She said it didn't change the flavor much, which just tees us up for a lot of the comments about the Big Mac salad. We had lots of ideas on variations. Liz recommending using relish, the flavor, the convenience of relish instead of chopping the pickle. I think that's fabulous. We're seeing a lot of avocado and tomato out there. The question really is, how do you like your cheeseburger? Make it that way. It turns out McDonald's makes a real killer flavor sauce, especially that sauce. They put some basic things on there, but you know, if you don't like onion, don't put onion on there. If you don't want the cheese, don't put the cheese on there. As I've said, just be mindful of the different layers, the ingredients as a whole, your goals, make this your own. And obviously ground beef is the classic protein topper for this, but there were a lot of discussions about using steak instead. In fact, I just had steak yesterday.
This is steak, and I used cabbage instead of iceberg. It's a delicious Frankenstein variation.
And so we've whipped all of this up, and I don't want you to overlook the point. This is a framework. You'll see it in the different recipes I have here. The soups, the skillets, the salads. I teach it in the books. If you'd like more information on this, I really go pretty deep in the books. But you know, you could just eat this every day for a while, see if it works for you. Find your groove. But there's a lot more to winning the long game in weight loss. Your eating needs to be on point. But how do you do this every day through the good times and the bad times? I am 4 years in maintenance, and the last 8 months of my life have been especially difficult and emotional. And I'm going to tell you, one of the tools that I use is definitely this type of meal. I have leaned harder into this framework in these 8 months and have leaned on it. I know there was a universe where I gained 100 pounds in these 8 months. Luckily, this isn't it, because that would be terrible. But it's so easy to do. It is so easy to do. I lean into the food framework, but how is it that you can eat and then stop eating? And I'm going to show you a key way that I am doing that these days. So I'm taking this down to an area of my property. I will eat and I will finish. Let me tell you a little more down there.
I've arrived with my meal. I want you to see how far I walked down, because that's part of the point that I'm making right now.
I'll speed it up so it's all quick.
I'm watching for snakes. I'm walking on a historic driveway now on our property, but I'm going down to the creek bed. That's Charlie's rooster. I evacuated some of Charlie's chickens in the cedar fire. Whole other story. And so I'm down here with my Big Mac salad, some salt, and a message for you. I look back on all those months, the 280 pounds, losing 140, and I'm so impressed with my ability to stay focused on my goal every single day. I'm really astounded. How did I manage that every single day? I talk about it explicitly in the Soup, Skillets, and Sautés book. I came into the diet with a philosophy in my life as it was. I call it my good day strategies, and there's a video here on YouTube about it, but the idea is really very simple, and that is, what if we use our good days to kind of set up life structures so that when we wake up on a bad day, we have structures in place to make the right decisions, to stay on track. And in the Soup, Skillets, and Sautés book, I talk about that more explicitly in the context of eating. I direct you to all those resources. The concept is very simple. There are a lot of ways we can think about it and a lot of ways we can employ it to use it to our advantage. And I'm really using it right now. You see me using it right here. What's happened is, over these last 8 months in my life, my own days have gotten very bad. We had a massive forest fire here. Our property is saved, as you can see from this footage. The higher elevations are completely devastated. And spring is here now. I've worried how I would do in the spring. The higher elevation roads are closed in the winter for us, so it's not part of our wintertime lifestyle, but those higher elevations are absolutely part of our spring, summer, and fall lifestyles, and they're gone. I mean, they're just gone. So my struggle these last 8 months has been real. And I know there is a universe where I gained 50, 100 pounds. I mean, easily, very easily. And I look back on some of the key strategies, and one of them is what you see right here. I've certainly noticed on my bad days where I'm struggling more, emotionally, I want to eat more. We all do. I mean, that's really how we got fat, right? I mean, let's be real about it. And so the whole eat your meal and walk away is what I always teach, but it's also especially hard on the bad days. And I've struggled with it more these last months than I have these 4 years in maintenance. And what I've learned from myself is if I eat this inside in my house, near my pantry, near other eating options, I'm going to eat this and I'm going to want to eat more. But I have a little formula for myself now, increasingly. Eat and walk away. Well, how do you walk away if that pantry is still calling you? Well, what if you go someplace where there's no food and you eat there and you eat until you're done? And then you do some really awesome things. You separate yourself in time from the eating until tomorrow. Engage in other awesome activities like down here. I brought books. I might make some TikTok videos. And by the time I leave this little creek bed, I will be separated enough from the food that it will simply be easier not to hit the pantry. And in fact, being separated now sets my intention for when I get back up to the house. I'm not eating in the pantry. And I'm not. But coming down here makes it so much easier to draw that boundary. That's what you see me doing here. I've drawn the boundary. I've drawn it already. I haven't eaten yet, so I will eat, and then I will stay down here, fill up with the awesomeness of nature, and then I can handle the pantry or anything else. I mean, think about this. What can you do? You eat. How can you stay super busy? How can you just throw yourself into busyness? Give it a try. In the meantime, try the Big Mac salad. Check out other recipes on this channel. Eat and go be awesome.